Welcome to Psyche Pulse channel. Have you ever found yourself delaying tasks even when you know they're important? If so, you're not alone. This is called procrastination. Procrastination, in essence, is the act of delaying or postponing tasks or actions. Despite being aware of potential negative consequences, we often find ourselves pushing tasks to the last minute. It's a common human behavior, with over 20% of the population identifying as chronic procrastinators. This video will explore the psychological aspects of procrastination, delving into the triggers, the role of emotions, cognitive biases, and the impact of self-control, or lack thereof, on our ability to act timely. We'll also discuss perfectionism, goal-setting, motivation, and behavioral activation. Each of these elements plays a significant role in why we procrastinate, and understanding them can help us develop strategies to overcome this habit. So, are you ready to say goodbye to last-minute stress? Stay tuned as we delve into the psychology behind why we procrastinate and how we can overcome it. First, let's understand the triggers of procrastination. It's not just about being lazy or disorganized. You see, procrastination is a complex psychological phenomenon. Yes, it can be seen as a form of laziness or disorganization, but it's much more than that. It's a dance between our mind and our emotions, a tango of thoughts and feelings that often leads to delaying tasks or decision-making. One common trigger is the fear of failure. It's that nagging thought that whispers, "What if I can't do it? What if I fail?" This fear can be paralyzing, leading us to put off tasks because we're afraid of not meeting expectations. Next, we have perfectionism. This is when we set the bar so high for ourselves that anything less than perfect is unacceptable. The pressure to be perfect can be overwhelming, leading us to procrastinate because we're afraid we can't reach that lofty standard. Lastly, there's lack of motivation. Sometimes we just don't feel like doing something. It's not that we can't do it or that we're afraid to fail, we're just not motivated to do it. This can be due to a lack of interest, a lack of energy, or even a lack of perceived reward. So procrastination isn't just a simple matter of being lazy or disorganized. It's a complex interplay of psychological factors such as fear of failure, perfectionism, and lack of motivation. Understanding these triggers is the first step towards overcoming procrastination. Now let's explore a concept called temporal discounting. This is a psychological tendency where we prioritize immediate rewards over long-term benefits. Imagine you have a task that will bring substantial benefits in the future, but it requires effort and commitment now. Temporal discounting is the process where we devalue that future benefit because it's not immediate. This is a key player in the game of procrastination. We tend to put off tasks that offer delayed gratification in favor of ones that provide immediate rewards. For instance, we might choose to binge watch a series or scroll through social media instead of studying for an exam or working on a project. These activities offer immediate pleasure, while the benefits of studying or working are not instantly visible. Temporal discounting influences our time preferences and decision-making processes, leading us to make choices that may not be in our best interest in the long run. Recognizing this bias can help us make better decisions about how to spend our time. Emotions play a big role in procrastination. Let's see how. Have you ever felt so overwhelmed by a task that you decided to push it aside for later? Or perhaps you've been so bored with an assignment that you couldn't bring yourself to even start it? These emotions, whether it's anxiety, boredom, or sheer overwhelm, can often lead us down the path of procrastination. The thing is, our emotions can sometimes act as roadblocks, preventing us from getting started on tasks or seeing them through to completion. This is where emotional regulation comes into play. It's the ability to effectively manage and respond to an emotional experience. For instance, if you're feeling anxious about a big project, emotional regulation might involve breaking the project down into smaller, more manageable tasks to reduce the sense of overwhelm. But it's not just about managing negative emotions. It's also about cultivating positive emotions that can motivate us and drive us forward. This could mean finding joy in the learning process or taking satisfaction in the progress you're making, no matter how small. It's important to remember that everyone experiences these emotions. You're not alone in feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or bored. The key to overcoming procrastination isn't to eliminate these emotions, but to learn how to manage them effectively. This might involve techniques like mindfulness, cognitive reframing, or even seeking support from others. Remember, it's okay to feel these emotions. The key is learning how to manage them effectively. Did you know that our brains can trick us into procrastinating? Let's find out how. Our minds are fascinating, yet they can sometimes lead us astray through cognitive biases. These are systematic errors in thinking that affect the decisions and judgments we make. Two such biases, optimism bias and planning fallacy, often contribute to procrastination. First, let's tackle optimism bias. This is when we believe that we're less likely to experience negative events compared to others. Sounds great, right? Well, not so much when it comes to procrastination. This bias can lead us to underestimate the time and effort required for a task, making us delay it until the last minute. Next up is the planning fallacy. This is our tendency to underestimate the time it will take to complete a task, even when we have past experience telling us it will take longer. It's like assuming you can finish a report in 2 hours, even though the last 3 reports took you 4 hours each. This bias can lead us to put off starting a task thinking we have plenty of time. So how do these biases contribute to procrastination? They distort our perception of time, effort, and task complexity, making us delay tasks we perceive as daunting. But don't worry, all hope is not lost. By being aware of these biases, we can take steps to counteract them. We can make more realistic assessments of the time and effort tasks will require and plan accordingly. This way we can keep procrastination at bay and get things done. Struggling with self-control and willpower? You're not alone. Imagine you're at a crossroads. One path is paved with immediate gratifications, a quick scroll through social media, another episode of your favorite show, a slice of that tempting chocolate cake. The other path, however, leads to long-term rewards, finishing that project, acing that test, attaining that health goal. The issue here is that the path of immediate gratifications often seems more alluring, right? That's where self-control and willpower come into play. They are the inner strength that helps you choose the path leading to long-term rewards. Procrastination is often seen as a failure of self-control. It's the inability to resist the allure of distractions or the urge to delay tasks that seem hard or boring. But here's the good news. Self-control and willpower are not fixed traits. They're like muscles. The more you use them, the stronger they get. So how do you build these muscles? Start small, challenge yourself to resist distractions for short periods and gradually increase this time. Practice mindfulness to stay focused on the present. Remember, it's okay to take breaks. In fact, the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break, is a proven way to maintain focus and productivity. Also, keep in mind that willpower tends to wane throughout the day, so tackle your most challenging tasks when your energy is high. And remember, good self-care, including adequate sleep and nutrition, can boost your willpower reserves. Improving self-control and willpower can be challenging, but it's a crucial step in overcoming procrastination. Are you a perfectionist? This could be why you procrastinate. Perfectionism, in its essence, is the pursuit of flawlessness, a quest that often sets unrealistically high standards and, when unmet, fuels a fear of failure or criticism. This fear can be paralyzing, leading us to delay tasks or decisions, effectively pushing us into the arms of procrastination. It's a vicious cycle that leaves us stuck in a loop of inaction, stress, and self-doubt. But here's the good news. You can challenge these perfectionistic beliefs. Start by acknowledging that perfection is a myth. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to not know everything. Then set realistic standards for yourself. Aim for progress, not perfection. Take small steps, celebrate your achievements, and remember it's okay to ask for help. Lastly, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. You're human after all. Remember, perfection is not always achievable, and that's okay. Setting goals and staying motivated can help us overcome procrastination. Imagine running a race without a finish line in sight. It would be tough, right? Without a clear endpoint, we'd likely lose our drive and stop running. Similarly, setting specific, achievable goals gives us a clear finish line, a tangible target to strive for, making tasks less daunting and more manageable. But setting goals is just one part of the equation. The other is motivation. Motivation is the fuel that powers our journey towards these goals. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning and keeps us going even when the going gets tough. By finding what truly excites us, what we're passionate about, we can ignite this intrinsic motivation. And here's the key. When we're driven by genuine interest and personal fulfillment, the task becomes less of a chore and more of a journey of discovery. Suddenly, the urge to procrastinate diminishes. With clear goals and strong motivation, we can make procrastination a thing of the past. Finally, let's talk about a technique called behavioral activation. This is a strategy that involves breaking tasks down into smaller, manageable steps and scheduling specific action plans. It's like having a roadmap that guides you toward your goal, one small step at a time. Let's imagine you have a big project due in a month. Instead of viewing it as a single overwhelming task, try breaking it down. Start with brainstorming ideas, then move on to outlining, drafting, revising, and so on. Each of these steps is a task on its own, and you can schedule them accordingly. And here's the kicker. As you complete each small task, you'll experience a sense of achievement. This positive reinforcement can motivate you to keep going, reducing the urge to procrastinate. So behavioral activation isn't just about planning, it's about creating a positive feedback loop where action leads to motivation, which in turn leads to more action. By breaking tasks down and planning actions, we can overcome the inertia of procrastination. So we've covered a lot today about the psychology of procrastination. From understanding procrastination triggers to the impact of temporal discounting, we've unraveled the intricate web that forms this common behavior. We've delved into the role of emotional regulation, cognitive biases, and how they can distort our perceptions, feeding the procrastination beast. We've also explored how self-control, willpower, and perfectionism can be both a friend and a foe in our battle against procrastination. Remember, setting achievable goals and maintaining motivation are crucial in overcoming this hurdle. We've also talked about behavioral activation, breaking tasks down into manageable steps, and scheduling specific action plans to overcome the inertia of procrastination. Procrastination is a complex beast, but with the right tools and understanding, it's one that can be tamed. So let's take these insights and strategies and put them to good use. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the Psyche Pulse channel for more insightful content.